Welcome back to everyone to Read2Me _TT bedtime series. We hope you're all ready for another fun bedtime story. Okay kids, so we know these past few weeks have had us inside and it's been very boring. But just remember, we're all being heroes in our own way by staying inside and flattening the curve. So tonight, we have another great story about the Crumb Bunch.
And, well, just before we get into the story, we'll do a really quick introduction. I'm Kurba, and I am the curator of the Global Shapers Port of Spain Hub. Basically, the Global Shapers Port of Spain Hub is full of people I consider absolute superheroes. They work in very different fields, from looking at technology, trying to find things within the environment that they can repurpose to make it better. There are doctors and lawyers and photographers and people who are just doing really amazing things, trying to make the world a better place. And I am really happy to be leading such a great team. And Kiran is actually one of those team members.
Hi, so what do? I use things like the phone you're looking at right now to help sick people get their medication to feel better.
Well, thank you, Kiran. So, as he would have shared before, we're reading a story called The Crumb Bunch. Right? This book was written by Heidi Fagerberg and published by Caribbean Reads. Tonight's story takes place on the beautiful island of St. Kitts and Nevis, and there are three main characters: Larry, Mr. Green, and Percy. So, let's get started. Hello, my name is Larry. I live on the island of St. Kitts at the Gallery Cafe on Independence Square. I am a lizard. I am not sure what kind of lizard I am, but I know that I am very special.
Larry, can you please be quiet? I'm trying to relax over here.
I look around to see who so rudely interrupted me, and I see my friend Mr. Green. He is frowning. Mr. Green, why are you in a bad mood?
I'm in a bad mood, Larry, because you're disturbing my peaceful sunbath. Why are you talking to yourself?
First of all, Mr. Green, I did not realize that I was disturbing anyone. Secondly, now that you are here, I'm no longer talking to myself. I am talking to you. May I continue? As I was saying, Mr. Green, one thing that makes us lizards special is that we eat bugs like spiders and flies.
Larry, first of all, there's nothing special about eating bugs. Secondly, now you're eating crumbs, not bugs. And thirdly, you're talking with your mouth full, and that is disgusting.
I swallow my crumbs and ignore Mr. Green's rude comments. Mr. Green, did you know that lizards live in Asia, Africa, Australia, and other continents too?
How do you know that, Larry? I think you're lying.
How dare you call me a liar? I answer angrily. It's the truth. Percy told me. He's a pigeon and he flies everywhere. See Percy the pigeon? Percy also said that lizards can change colors.
Well, I know I can. I've just turned colors. I change colors when I get upset. Can you change colors, Larry?
Yes, I reply, although I know that I can't.
Then prove it, Larry. Change colors.
Mr. Green, I don't have to prove anything to you. I skitter away. I am disappointed that I lied, and sad that I am not as special as Mr. Green is. He can change colors, and I can't.
Good afternoon, Larry.
I look up and see Percy perched in his regular afternoon spot under the pawpaw tree.
Brr, brr. I'm Percy the pigeon.
I'm afraid to answer him because I might cry. He looks at me, his head tilted to one side as he does when he is puzzled.
Why do you look so sad, Larry? Brr.
Percy, you told me that I am special, but Mr. Green can change colors, and I can't. And that's not the worst part, Percy. I lied to Mr. Green. I feel horrible. I just need to be by myself. I turn and walk away so that Percy cannot see my tears.
Wait, Larry, maybe I can cheer you up. I finally found out what type of lizard you are.
This stops me in my tracks. I have been longing to find out this information. Percy, you found out what type of lizard I am? Please tell me.
Larry, first, let me hear it. Who is special?
Oh, come on, Percy. Not again with this special chant, I hiss.
Yes! Again! Squawks Percy, stamping his feet.
I know when Percy does that, he means business. Okay. I am special, I say.
Larry, who is special and why?
Me. I am, because I am me. Wait, Percy, where are you going?
We're going to find Mr. Green. You need to apologize.
Okay, I reply, scurrying after him, although I am not looking forward to admitting to Mr. Green that I lied. So, Percy and I see Mr. Green sunbathing in the distance. We head towards him, but before we reach him, he calls out to us.
If you are coming to see me, don't bother. I am going home. I would prefer not to hang out with a liar.
Oh, man.
Wait, Mr. Green, there is something I need to share with you, shouts Percy. But Mr. Green must not have heard him because he skittered away. That did not stop Percy. He kept going on after Mr. Green.
We finally caught up to Mr. Green under the trees by his home. So now I have to apologize.
Mr. Green, I understand you upset with Larry, but I know what type of lizards you and Larry are. I really want to share that with both of you. You know what type of lizard I am? Mr. Green asks. Yes, I sure do, replies Percy. Mr. Green, you are a panther anole, and Larry, you are an orange-faced amoeba.
I am an amoeba? I am so excited to finally know this. But I still have to admit to Mr. Green that I lied. Mr. Green, I have something to tell you too, I say. I'm sorry I lied. Mr. Green was quiet for a few seconds. I really wondered if he was going to accept my apology.
You know what, Larry? You admitted you were wrong and you apologized. That takes courage. I accept your apology, Mr. Green replies.
I am really surprised that he is so forgiving. I really do have good friends. Percy, Mr. Green, I have an idea. I know we are all very different, but I feel like you are my family. Can we give ourselves a family name?
That's a great idea, Larry. Percy coos, he's so excited he starts jumping from one leg to the other. Let's choose a family name that shows the things that we have in common. What about the lizards? Mr. Green suggests.
Mr. Green, we can't be the lizards. Percy is a pigeon.
Wait, I know. We all love the crumbs here at the Gallery Cafe, right? So let's call ourselves the Crumb Bunch.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, great idea. Here.
And that actually brings us to the end of this super awesome story. Thank you so much for joining us. It really reminds me of, being younger and, I'm sure we've all been there.
She's an old woman now.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. A little older than I look. But when you're younger, you do something and you feel like the best thing to do is tell a lie because that might save you from getting in trouble at that point in time. But then you realize that you have to keep adding things on top of these lies, and then things just get really, really bad. So, but I think you learn that, well, for me at least, it's better to have just told your parents or friends the truth in the beginning, because when things get bigger, you definitely get in a lot more trouble. And that is never good. What about you?
Yes, and of course also the importance of forgiveness, right? Because, look at Mr. Green. Mr. Green was someone, he is a gruff character. He was obviously very offended when Larry was lying to him. But he was pretty quick to forgive the second that Larry came sort of very straight with it and was like, listen, this is it. I lied. And he was very quick in his own rough sort of way, even though he didn't want to admit it at first. I think he was probably the most glad out of anyone that he had friends like Larry and like Percy the pigeon, and he was happier than anyone else, I think, at the end to be part of the Crumb Bunch.
Yeah, he definitely was. So it also shows us the importance of having supportive friends and friends who really are willing to forgive, but also willing to apologize, regardless of whatever happened. We're still friends.
Mm-hmm. And that's really important, particularly in this time when we're all stuck at home. If we're angry at each other, we can't just leave. So we may as well sort of make the best of it and get through things.
That is really, really true, especially now that, with everything that's happening and with everybody being at home together in the same space every day, it's better to just be honest and get along, or at least that's what I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for having us. Thank you for joining us again for Read2Me's nightly bedtime series. I hope you had fun, or at least put up with us, or put up with me in particular. But before we go...
Right, it is really very important that you listen to us. Are you listening? Okay.
What are you saying?
Yeah, they said yes, right?
Yeah.
So, do you want to be superheroes? Yeah, remember I told you I run a team of really awesome superheroes. Do you want to be like them? Well, here's what you can do to help. We need you to wash your hands with soap and water and sing happy birthday twice.